we had a collision, and after we got separated and sorted out what happened, we brought the airplanes back to our base.
So the folks at home understand that means you were flying very close together, right? How high, how fast?
We were probably about around 20,000 feet and about 350 knots.
And how close together are you when you're doing those kind of things?
Oh, well, it's a dynamic environment, and so it's hard to say at any one point how close you are. It's a, you know, like I say, a dynamic environment.
Lieutenant Anderson, we could see by just watching the videotape just how badly the planes were damaged. What was going through your mind? Were you worried about whether you could, in fact, make it back to the base with the plane like that?
Well, the first thing that I was worried about was everybody okay, and then certainly evaluating all the things that were wrong with the airplane. I quickly realized that it was easier to figure out what was working in the airplane than what wasn't working, and then trying to figure out if it was going to be safe to bring it over land and bring it into the field, or if we just have to keep it over the water and keep troubleshooting it for a while.
Now, we can see your plane right behind you. I mean, obviously, the nose cone was ripped off. As I understand it, the canopy also came off, so you were exposed up there?
Yes, ma'am. The nose cone was ripped off, the canopy, the centerline tank, and the right engine was out, and some of the hydraulic systems were gone.
So did you have to reduce your speed, reduce your altitude, or were you just losing altitude?
Well, initially it was just trying to keep the airplane flying, and then lower my seat and try to hide behind the windscreen there, keep the wind blast down, because initially we were pretty fast and there was a lot of wind in the airplane. With the right motor going out, obviously you slow down pretty quickly, a lot of drag with the canopy off. So got the airplane slowed down, kept it flying, and then started to evaluate if we were going to be able to bring it back safely.
Try to bend down a little bit just so you could even see going that fast. Lieutenant Stubbs, as I understand it, your reservist has happened during the first week of your 2-week active duty tour. Pretty frightening under those conditions. It's tough to fly an F-A-18 at the best of conditions.
Right. It's like I say, it's we go through a lot of training, and when it happened, it was just instincts that took over. You know, after doing this for about 10 years, I didn't really even think about what I was doing. It was just instinct that was brought out from all the training that I've had through the years. And both Greg and I have been doing this particular mission now for about 4 or 5 years. So we're used to this type of environment. And like I said, it was just the training, natural training that took over.
Yeah, so you're both ready to go right back up again in an F-18.
Absolutely.
All right.
Especially in that airplane.
All right. Well, it's good to be able to talk to you this morning. Good work bringing those planes back in.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Good morning.
All right.
It's the 25th of April, 1996, and what you just saw earlier was some heads-up display tapes from Monday and Tuesday when we were out doing BFM or air combat maneuvers or whatever you want to call it, basically 1v1. And this morning as I woke up and I turned the TV on, I recorded this little portion of these Navy guys who hit each other, which is stupidity in my opinion. They shouldn't be flying jets if they hit each other. If that happened in the Air Force, they would never be flying again, because they broke the training rules. Training rules are there in place for safety. And for us, there's a 500-foot bubble around the other airplane. So you can't go inside that 500-foot bubble. And if you're attacking him, like you've seen my gunshots, if I'm attacking him, then I have to come off of him by 1,000 feet to avoid hitting that bubble. So I'm coming in and boom, I come off to not hit him at 1,000 feet. And usually if you do that, you're going to go right at 500 feet. So if you go into 500 feet and you come off, then it's going to be tough not to hit the guy. And so there's training rules. The Navy guys break training rules all the time. I've been there, done that. I've seen them do it. And I hope I never have to fight anybody who's that stupid, who goes out and hits someone doing BFM. They're lucky to be alive. Guy lost his canopy and nose cone. There's no one ever been able to fly an F-16 with a canopy gone, so he's just lucky he was in an F-18. So just to let you know that this is a rare thing that happens. Just happens to be a coincidence that I'm showing you these heads-up display tapes of me doing the same thing these guys were doing when they hit. But it's just pure stupidity. But back to BFM. I did pass my ride on Tuesday for my instructor upgrade portion. For the BFM, like I said, I was teaching how to be the offender, so I'm kind of talking on my tape a little bit. My next sortie, which will be after we get back from Alaska for doing this, will be as a defender, how he can defeat this guy behind you. And there's all kinds of ways to defeat that portion. And then we move into high aspect, which is head-on passes. And you come pretty close to the guy at probably about 1,200 miles an hour overtake. And then you either fight like this, or like this, or back around a two-circle type fight. And there's a variety of different situations you do there. But everything is different. Like this instructor upgrade, there's 11 different sorties, and every one of them is different because we do so many different things in this jet, either from dogfighting, and there's all different types of dogfighting, to doing intercepts when you're using your radar, doing 2v2 intercepts or 4vx, multiple number of bandits going out shooting missiles and reacting in game, and then all the air-to-ground stuff, dropping bombs, shooting harm missiles, and a variety of things like that. So we leave tomorrow morning to go to Cape Thunder. I'll show you some more stuff here in a minute on that.